Hey there, my gorgeous friends on the internet. It's me, and Mini-Me. If you want him to disappear, you just have to say his name 3 times. Mini-Me, Mini-Me, Mini-Me. Told you. So lately I've been messing around with 3D. I always felt like 3D adds so much life to a website. Like the last websites I remember being blown away used 3D in a very clever way. So I've been learning Blender and stuff like that. And I feel like there's no like good tutorials on YouTube. Like even like to do like a scroll animation, how do you import like a GLTF, a 3D model from Blender or from wherever into your Next.js app or your React app and then create some animations within there. So no tutorials. Well, there is one now. So it's this one right now. So let's do it. So yeah, let's get into it. And I promise you, like once you see how easy it is, you're gonna be like, oh damn, I didn't know you could just like add a model like that and animate it so easy. So the first thing would be to find a model, right? You could do either Sketchfab. They have free ones here, some free ones, some paid ones. You can just go here to 3D models and do downloadable and animated. That's what I usually do. And then, yeah, you can preview them. A lot of them have multiple animations on them. Some of them don't. Of course, if you want to do something custom, you can model it yourself in Blender, which let me know if you want to see that. I love to make tutorials on Blender. I'm not sure. I usually, what Dev Cody? I'll watch the video later. Yeah, I'm not sure. Are people interested in my channel here to Blender stuff, or is it just like mainly coding? I also would love to like experiment with Golang and stuff like that, you know? Sorry, not to like blabber a lot, but... And here we go, it's Robot Playground. So let's click on this, and you can download the 3D model, and you want to get the GLB version here. This includes all like the textures and animations within one file. If you do GLTF, it's usually split. It makes like a bin as well, and a GLTF, and then like a texture folder, and you have to like link it together. This is gonna be really easy, so you can do GLB. And they usually also do like different texture sizes, like a 4K variant, a 1K. Okay, so let's head back to localhost, and these are the packages that we're gonna need to install. We're gonna need 3JS. We're gonna need Fiber as well, React 3 Fiber. This is really nice because it'll just like give you the components to put together your 3D animation. So you can just like create a React component that holds like a model, and then you can just pop it in. And then you have Dray, or Dry for my German folks out there. Was machst du? This is great. It has like a lot of little utility functions that you can use to just make everything with 3D easier. And then post-processing if you want to add cool effects. Okay, so the first thing we'll need to do, I'll just make a new file here called scene.tsx. We'll need to set up like a canvas, right? So here, we'll just import use client at the top, and we'll import a couple of things. Canvas, and this is gonna come from React Fiber. There we go. We'll create the scene. As you can see, it auto-complete it for me. I'm not gonna need all of these. We'll just do a directional light in here. There we go, and then you can specify the position with an array here. I picked intensity 4, let's do 4, and the position here, I did -5, -5, and 5. And you can preview this, you're gonna see it in just a sec. Okay, and then here, one more thing that you need to do is, here's where we're gonna need to create the model. So we'll make a new component here and call this model.tsx. So let's define this model function like that. And here what we're gonna return, it's gonna be a group like that. And this group is gonna hold a primitive shape here, or object. Now, the way we need to import this is you'll need to grab your GLTF and drop it, or GLB and drop it in your public folder. And the way you can make this work is like this. I looked everywhere on the damn internet for this, but this is the method I found. So you import this use GLTF from Dray, okay? And then at the top of the file here, you can do use gltf.preload, And then here for the model path, all you need to do is pass in slash. It'll recognize the public folder, and then the model name. So it'll be robot playground.glb. Okay, so that's the preloading up there at the top. And then within here, we'll say, we'll grab this group because we'll need to make a reference for it. So we can say use ref and say pass in null here, but we can pass in a generic here to give it its type, which is gonna be a group type. And I believe that's from Next.js. Yeah. We'll need to import use ref as well. There we go. So now we can just pass it down here. Set that equal to group. And now to actually access the materials and the nodes on this, we can use this use gltf again like that. Okay, so use gltf, and then we pass in the same path as we did up here. So we can extract the nodes and materials and even the animations here, like that. So for this primitive here, what you can pass down is say object, and you can just pass down the entire scene, like that. Okay, so now that we got this loaded up, we can go back here to the scene and import our model. So let's do model like that. Now they recommend you to wrap this in a suspense. So let's do suspense. I'll just leave the fallback to null. There we go, autocomplete, thank you very much. Like that. So there we go. Now one more thing we need to do is import it here and render it out like that. And hit save. Now, this works right now, but you might have problems with this, especially when you're doing animations, and even some of the textures are not going to properly load up because it's going to try to render this out on the server first, and it's not going to have access to a bunch of Windows stuff. So what we need to do is use Next Dynamic to basically fully load this up on the client. So let's go back here. So rather than importing it like that, what we need to do is say import dynamic from Next.js, and then you do const scene equals dynamic, and then you do your import here like that with the scene. And very important, make sure you set SSR false here for the second argument, okay? So then we can render out the scene again. Make sure you remove this one from the top and hit save. Oh, let me show you. Now there's lots of cool little things that you can do in here. For example, you can even display a little loader here for the suspense. Let me just show you this really quickly. So I'll go, let's go above here. I'll close the side panel up. You can import this use progress from Dre, and also the HTML from Dre, like that. And then you can just fix it like that and display this progress here instead of the fallback null. So we can do loader like that and hit save. Let's check this out. Well, it's cached now. Well, when we do an empty, look at that. See, you get the loading state there that you can mess around with this and style as well. Now here for the canvas, you can also add GL anti-aliasing true so you don't get jaggy lines, and you can even adjust the DPR here so the pixel density is a bit higher. Now rather than just rendering out the model, what we can do is drop it in a scroll controls that comes from React Dre again. So let's wrap our model around it like that. And then here we can define the damping. So we'll do 0.2 and the amount of pages. So this is how much you can scroll, giving you 100 VH you can imagine. So 2 pages would be 200 VH. And we're gonna test this out. I'll come back to this. I'll just leave it like this actually. Now back in the model, let's go down here. We can get this use animations hook from Dre, like that. And we'll need to pass down 2 things here, the animations that we're getting from the robot and also the scene itself. Now here you'll have actions, which holds basically all the different animations you have on it, and clips as well. So let's extract these 2. And then here's the little magic that you can run. Use effect, we'll need to import use effect, and use frame from fiber. Okay, So let's hit save. So check this out. So here we're accessing the actions. And if you console log this out, let me just show you console log actions. And check it out here in the console. It's basically going to give you the object with the animations that are on it. And if you check on Sketchfab, it's going to like tell you here. So this one doesn't have an animation, but like if we do animated, let's do a sphere. I saw there was a sphere. Look, this one has like loads of animations that you can experiment with. So you can toggle between sphere bot. Then we can do a run cycle, right? So you can access all of these here and pause and play them and switch between them. How cool is that? But what we'll do is just to scroll. So here's the logic for it. First of all, we'll need to run this use effect here to essentially pause our animation at the beginning. And then we're running this use frame where we're accessing that specific animation, the time function on it. And then here we can update the duration with this scroll offset. And the place you're getting that scroll from is you just import scroll equals use scroll. There we go, from Dre. That's all you need. And you do the offset here. Okay, and now if we scroll, look at that, it works. And not only that, you get this nice dampening effect. So when you stop, it kind of slows down a little bit. It's not like jaggy, you know, like look at that. So I stop scrolling, but look, catches like velocity. It's really cool. You can change like the speed of this. So if I want to really slow, I can put it down to 8. And now as you can see when I scroll, see it's quite slow, but that's much nicer. So, but there's not enough space to scroll, see? So what you can do is increase the pages here to like the amount that you like. So now we can go much further in the animation. Maybe that's a bit too much. If we do 4 here and 3 pages, let's give that a shot. So scroll. There we go, how cool is that? And you can experiment with the dampening as well. See how much longer that goes when I stop scrolling. So maybe that's a bit too much. Maybe 0.5 will be quite nice. So scrolls. Yeah, see how cool that is? So there we go. Now one thing I must say is like, you can't get the types for these actions. Let me know if someone works on the Fiber theme or whatever on the drive. Is there any way we can extract types here? That would be really cool. So that's gonna be it for me. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Drop a sub, drop a like, and yeah, let me know about the 3D if you want to see more of that stuff.